What's up, guys, and welcome to the next Crack a Pack video. Today we're opening up a pack of Core 2019. Not the most exciting set in the world, but there are some interesting cards in here that hopefully we will see. Of course, we're going to go through this as if it is a draft environment, so we'll figure out what our pack one pick one would be. I did a few drafts with this set, and I actually enjoyed it. I thought the draft environment was pretty fun for this, so we'll do the best we can. Hopefully we'll get something awesome. So, Scholar of the Stars is our first card, a 3/2 for 3 and a blue. When it enters the battlefield, if you control an artifact, you draw a card. I don't like this card. I actually really did on the onset. I thought it was pretty sweet, but the blue-white archetype in particular seems really tough to actually make it happen unless you get the payoff cards really early. And this is really not one of the big payoff cards, so I'm not a fan of that one. Tormenting Voice, 1 and a red for a sorcery. As an additional cost to cast this, you discard a card, and then you draw 2 cards. This is perfectly fine card draw in red, but it's not a particularly good card draw spell. Obviously, you're discarding a card, but the idea is you probably are going to discard like a land or something like that to actually draw 2. I would never play more than probably one of these in a deck. I just don't think it's that good. But, I mean, it's a playable. It's not amazing. Araskas, I don't know. Swiftclaw, sorry guys. A 3/1 for 1 and a white vanilla creature. This is filler. It's perfectly fine on 2 though in a core set. Obviously the power level of cards are a little bit down in comparison to normal sets. And this is actually a decent 2-drop for just curve consideration, that kind of a thing. Not first pickable, but not bad. Divination, 2 and a blue for a sorcery, draw 2 cards. This is a very classic card. I don't like this super early, but if I am in a blue deck and I need something on 3, this is a great 3 casting cost card. Other than that, not super exciting, but it does draw 2 cards. Greenwood Sentinel, a 2/2 for 1 and a green with Vigilance. This is just an above par, above average 2-drop. Obviously, you kind of expect, especially in a core set, 2/2 for 2 vanilla creature is just a bear that's kind of average. Giving it Vigilance makes it that just a little bit better. It can play offense and defense at the same time, which is good. And it does pretty well in the enchantment deck where you can kind of enchant it and do some crazy stuff. But other than that, it's relatively unexciting. It's just kind of an okay 2-drop. Hired Blade is a 3/2 for 2 and a black with flash. Basically, you can play it anytime you'd play an instant. Again, perfectly fine 3-drop. Not amazing, but perfectly fine. I would play it in a black deck if I needed to. But I'm not seeing anything so far that really screams out at me as like, man, I'd love this card. Nothing's giving me any direction. Talons of Wildwood doesn't really give me anything either. 1 and a green for an enchant creature. The creature gets +1/+1 and has trample. You can also pay 2 and a green to return the Wildwood from your graveyard to your hand. This makes enchanted creatures, I mean, as an enchanted creature, this is a little bit more of like a useful enchant creature card. Just because you can return it, it's never going to be just like a flat out 2 for 1. If your opponent kills the creature this is on. But I'm not a fan of these. Just in general, I don't think it does all that much, so I'm not too excited about it. Totally Lost, an instant for 4 and a blue, put target non-land permanent on top of its owner's library. This is probably, honestly, the most powerful card we've seen so far. It basically makes your opponent kind of take a turn off, not off completely, but they're not going to be drawing or seeing any new cards as long as they're not drawing any extra cards anyway. It sets a creature back, or it sets some kind of permanent back if it's a removal spell in the form of an enchantment or something like that. So it's actually kind of a nice card. So far, honestly, this is the pick, and I'm not super stoked about that. Centaur Courser, a 3/3 for 3, pretty straightforward vanilla creature. Again, just an on-curve threat. It's fine. Okay, here we go. Psychic Corrosion, 2 and a blue for an enchantment. Whenever you draw a card, each opponent puts the top 2 cards of his or her library into their graveyard. This is great. So Mill in Limited in particular is weirdly strong only because you only have 40 cards in your deck and you draw 7 of them at the start of the game. So you have 33 cards to get through. They're drawing a card every turn, and you can mill 2 every turn just off of this 1 card. And only if you only draw once. Like if you have Divination or something like that, you mill so many more cards. I love this card. This is definitely like a flagship card in my mind. I love it. Rogue's Gloves artifact equipment for 2 and equip cost of 2. And when the equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. This is just fine. I'm not super stoked about a card like this, but if you have something that's going to be poking through for a lot of damage, this is a good card to have. Vigilant Baloth is a 5/5/4/5 with Vigilance. So this is really just sort of a standard, it's a good bomb for green. The fact that it has Vigilance means it's going to be able to swing in and block, and being a 5/5, it's going to be able to block a lot of things. This is less exciting to me than the Psychic Corrosion, though it's a more just sort of generally solid card. I do like it, but I like the Corrosion better. Cleansing Nova, sorcery for 3 and 2 white, choose one, destroy all creatures, or destroy all artifacts and enchantments. If you're in a control deck, this is fine. It's really hard to make control work in limited, so I'm not stoked about that. And then we do have a foil here, a foil rare in fact, Sigiled Sword of Valoron, 3 for an equipment. The equipped creature gets +2/+0, has Vigilance, and is a knight in addition to its other types. When the equipped creature attacks, create a 2/2 knight creature token with Vigilance that's attacking. The equipped cost is 3. Okay, I think that's honestly the pick. As much as I love Psychic Corrosion, I think this is definitely the pick. It's an equipment, not an enchant creature, so it's going to stick around a while. It's really, really powerful, and it makes another creature spit out creatures. That's exactly what you want in limited. So I love this card. I think that's definitely the pick, though I hate passing up on Psychic Corrosion. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like or a comment down below. If you felt like I am completely wrong in my draft pick, then let me know in the comments as well. And of course, make sure to subscribe, stay up to date on all of our content. But with that, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next Crack a Pack video.